So bring it on. Hype, expectation, emotion. The game yet to kick off. The excitement already palpable. Well, colour and passion just oozing from the stands here. These fans love their football, and we're about to be dished up a feast of it. Well, we're on the way.
Patrick Vieira is a man of many qualities. The leadership has to be top of the pile.
Yeah, he's not just the destroyer, is he? He is the enforcer.
True, there's so much more to his game. Quite comfortable in driving the team forward, and he can make those marauding runs from box to box.
Chips it through. Doué. He has found the way through. Picks out chance! He's scored!
Well, talk about a real rude awakening. It's almost as if the defence saw nothing coming. They just didn't anticipate. On heels rather than toes.
One sweeping move, executed with deadly efficiency.
Well, it's an example of counter-attacking at its finest. Real cut and thrust.
So the game's first significant moment, and it's come earlier than perhaps we anticipated. And a chance! A real chance and a real let-off.
Well, it's almost like he had too much thinking time there, Peter.
So just a one early goal to report so far. 1-0 the score. Well, there is a look that says it all. A piercing stare.
Yeah, he just didn't seem to get enough on the pass, Peter, did he?
Can he get it through? Bellingham receives it in a wide position. And that should get the job done. Looking for options for movement. He's got away.
Such good technique.
And that has been clubbed away. Paris Saint-Germain have reclaimed it. Alexander-Arnold can get it clear. Aimed beyond the defence. Oh, nicely intercepted. Dealt with nicely by the defence. Plays a sharp little ball here. Oh, easy pickings there. Roberto Carlos is there to clear. Tries to play it through. And it's hoisted clear. Now it's Doué. Can he get on the end of this? Now this takes a shot! Sticks it away! 2 up now, and they are cruising. There was no getting to that, no getting to it at all. Expertly done.
He had the whole picture in his head, Peter. He didn't even look at the goalkeeper.
So that's 2 now without reply.
We're looking at...
It's Van Basten! That was a matter of inches.
Oh, he got lots of power behind that, just couldn't quite get it on target.
Well played, that has snuffed out the danger. And he thumps it clear. Well, the idea was a good one. The execution of it, not quite so.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation. No more, no less.
Pass somewhat off target. Lovely pass, but can he get there? He's having a shot! And that's what you call inspired goalkeeping.
Doué clearly thought he had the beating of the keeper.
Well, that's well spotted. And it's half-time here. How do you look back on the first 45 minutes?
Paris Saint-Germain certainly can feel happy about how things have gone, but now isn't the time to take their foot off the pedal. They need to keep pushing, keep imposing, don't leave the door open for the opposition.
Paris Saint-Germain ahead 2-0, and they are looking good. And the game has already resumed here. Cannavaro. Oh, he's going to be disappointed with that. It's played through for him. Oh, super ball! It's all a little bit desperate, but it's got the job done.
Well, that tackle was immense, and so was the relief. The great escape.
That's an imaginative pass. Now it's Doué. Tries from distance. Nacho. De Bruyne. Tries to pass it through. Back into the middle. And he welcomes it in. Shot, surely! Oh, the ball's... Oh, he's been... Oh, it's fallen! And the assistant referee rightly gives him offside. And he's gone looking for safety. 60 minutes played. Oh, that pass isn't the best. Well, that had the makings of something quite promising, but it's fizzled out into nothing. Madrid appear to be happy to let their front players stay up front all the time.
Well, it's signalling to the opposition that they're setting themselves up for the counter-attack. It's plain and simple.
He's going for goal! Euphoria, utopia, and they are cavorting! And they are tearing the opposition apart here. Simply breathtaking stuff. A truly wonderful strike, decorated with dip and curl.
Oh, it was a real beauty, Peter, and while many might have just lashed out at it, he took his time and he put it where very few can.
A case now of complete control. Alexander-Arnold. Now it's Messi. Still no way through. The defending here is resolute. Khan gets it away. Lovely pass, but can he get there? And he's made sure that's not getting through. Well, he has slightly undercooked that one.
They should have done a lot better there. The final ball was very poor.
Knocks it into space. And that's gone all the way through to the keeper. Rudiger. That's good pressing, squeezing the play. It looked as though that might lead to something quite promising, but it turned out that that was not the case. And it's Nagatomo.
That's a shame, because it was such a good decision.
Substitution on the field. Number 2.
We have got changes here from both sides, in fact.
Is number 17, Joshua Kimmich.
Well, they've got it again. Well, it looked promising for a moment, but it came to nothing. David Villa! David Villa! Brilliant! That is a gem! An absolute gem! It is no contest. It is a landslide.
Number 18.
Oh, a goal of real quality. He made it look ridiculously easy.
Ah, you've got to love that. Concentration, conviction, contact, and sheer class.
Substitution in progress.
And very quickly, the substitute made his mark.
I think the manager's claiming an assist here.
Paris Saint-Germain are at the peak of their powers. As for their opponents, a long way from that. And that's that. Paris Saint-Germain, just a thrill to witness here. Quick, slick, and such fun. You really would fear for anyone playing up against them right now. So, Jim, how do you reflect on what... Well, what a scene we have here. There's a real expectant buzz in the stadium, and the players on the pitch are raring to go any minute now. Well, the stage is set for a stirring showdown here. The supporters in great voice, and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. Game on. There's the whistle, and here we go. So, Jim, who would you identify as the key man in this fixture?
Yeah, Marquinhos. He's one of the toughest and most competitive centre-backs in the business. He's the kind of player you can rely on to always be just where you need him, making a vital interception or just making life difficult for the opposition to get through. And that's a very valuable characteristic.
I wonder whether that has anything to do with you being a defender once upon a time, Jim. Roberto Carlos calmly anticipates. Messi is offering some sort of an apology there.
He made it look a bit predictable.
And this is Batistuta. Well, he's seen that early, used a certain sixth sense. Looking for the run. And he's cleared it out of harm's way. It'll be a throw-in. Takes aim and crosses. Batistuta finds himself offside. Knocks it into space. This looks promising. There will be a throw-in. Batistuta's cross. Nagatomo is there and he can get that clear. And we have our very first corner. He gets big. Crossbar comes to the rescue. And it's a goal! Sharp, simple, satisfying. He just knew what was on.
Well, I admire players who do that because they just don't give up on anything.
So the first moment of real significance.
Well, that gives them the privilege to control the tempo of the game. It's up to them to manage it from here now.
Messi is flagged offside. Well, he's going to be disappointed with that. Cafu. It's a good run down the right. Spread neatly. Well, there's the clearance. And he's there to retrieve it. Doué. Doué!
We're seeing some really good pressure being applied here, Peter, particularly from those guys up front.
Yeah, and it just, I suppose, Jim, denies the others time and space.
Well, I would call it blanket suffocation. Every single player is committed to the press, and there's simply no way out.
Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. No question, this is the man you want to get onto the end of things. Rijkaard. Looking to play him in.
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
Ambitious ball here.
Been indicated.
And he's cut it out. Well, they've got it again. Referee's had a look, and he's blown his whistle for half-time. Well, it's certainly simmered along nicely so far. Just the one goal in it, and it's all still very much up for grabs.
And now,
Well, for me, Peter, things have never really got going, but at least this will be a good time to reflect and regroup. I can see a few changes coming, because whatever they've been doing, it just hasn't gelled.
Substitution in progress.
And the action is back underway.
Well, I think in these circumstances, it's all about how to adjust the balance of your team. I mean, you want to get back in it as soon as possible, but without leaving yourself too open.
And it's been played through, and this is Messi, and he's away. Oh, that's a foul, and the whistle's gone. Yellow or red? It is red. Well, he stayed down and is in very obvious discomfort here. Well, Jim, I suppose that was the only possible outcome in the circumstances.
Well, he had a decision to make, Peter, and it's worked out badly.
He's shaping up to have a crack from here. And this the perfect opportunity to create a cushion between them. Snyder! He went for the curler. Paris Saint-Germain come out this half somewhat altered.
Well, I'm assuming that this is going to end up as a tactical change, Peter.
Well timed, excellent interception. He's in plenty of space here. And the whistle's gone, presumably for offside. Played into space. Nice interception, well timed.
Well, Peter, just see here how a lot of the attacking players aren't dropping back anymore.
And that means just one thing, I suppose.
Yeah, they just simply want to engage the counter-attack.
And that should get the job done.
That's exactly what they need to keep doing. Carry on plugging away and eventually you might just get that little break.
Well, they're looking a whole lot more urgent now.
You know, the interest value in this game might just take off from here.
Some resolute defending there. And he's managed to get rid. Distributed tidily. That is ended up in no man's land. But it is clear to see that he is not at all happy with that.
Clearly is miffed, having made the run and not get picked out.
Ball's gone out of play. And here's Messi. Just eases him off the ball.
That's just playing it safe and simple. Canada are totally dominant in the middle of the park. A no-way through zone.
Now that looks a decent ball.
Canada clearly have been instructed to kill this off. Offence is the best form of defence.
Aimed beyond the defence. And he's lost his man here. Shot a goal! Oh, taken with style. And that should do it! Within sight of the finish line.
6 minutes is...
They forced the error and extracted the maximum punishment.
Well, a little more decisiveness on the ball and that probably wouldn't have happened, but still, it was very well played. Great pressure to force the error.
Substitution on the field.
2 up and very little time left. Surely this is it.
Coming on to
Well, that's a really bitter blow. I think it's going to be very hard for them to find the character to respond from that.
Minutes has been indicated.
Kante kept his eye on it, and he's there. Doku. Time is desperately short now, but it is a corner.
Substitution on the field. Number 8.
Paris Saint-Germain have their second corner now.
Number 13. Conte.
Doku!
Number 20.
And that's what you call inspired goalkeeping.
That's very, very good. You can't ask for much more than that.
Corner number 3 coming up. And time is up. Paris Saint-Germain perhaps ended up out of ideas and out of steam. Some warm applause and acknowledgement of the effort put in by the players, but that does not hide the overall disappointment.
And a quick reminder,
how would you summarise what we've seen today then, Jim?
Well, Peter, I really couldn't see what this team was trying to achieve, whether it's the manager's message not getting through or not having the right players in the right positions. It all looked a bit lost.
And all that remains for me is to thank Jim Beglin. That's it from us tonight. A very good evening to one and all. Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is full of noise and energy. This certainly matters. Expectations and decibels both rising fast here. Things are heating up, and we'll be getting underway very soon. There's the whistle. Jim, who do you pick out as the telling individual today?
This guy, Carvajal, is one of the most adventurous fullbacks around, Peter. He's definitely come a long way since he had to go to Germany to look for...
Oh, what a mistake! Great vision. And the counter is on. Bastoni spots it and intercepts. And he's heaved it away. That's really well cleared. Now then, the ball's come loose. Saliba gets it away. Sporting have reclaimed it. Now it's Van Basten. Good ball, good take. It's a searching pass. Floated through. Cannavaro makes the interception. Deftly away. And here's Van Basten.
Van Basten really needed to concentrate on protecting the ball. Then again, he was being very closely marshalled.
And now the breakaway.
Yeah, I've had a quick review of what we've seen so far, and I can confirm we're in a shot-free zone.
Played into space. Cleared without complication. Well, they've got it again. Plays a sharp little ball here. Well, the ball just didn't work out for the run that he made.
They should have done a lot better there. The final ball was very poor.
That is ended up in no man's land. Oh, that's a key interception. Saliba cuts it out. Now it's Raul. De Bruyne.
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
And that is out of play. Ball's out once more. Now, can they get him away? And he's picked it up out wide. Nicely shaped cross. Rijkaard is there. And there is the half-time whistle. A decent enough half, but neither side able to get on the score sheet. Time for some fresh ideas in the second period, perhaps. What have we learned from the first 45 minutes?
Well, there's no way to disguise the fact that they've been poor. Not a single shot on goal tells you all you need to know, Peter. Everything seems a little hurried to me, a little rushed, panicked even at times.
So they head in no further forward. The score here, still 0-0. So we're just settling back into this second half.
Paris Saint-Germain really are going to need to improve in a hurry if they don't want to fall behind here. Upping the intensity and the tempo will be their starting point.
Rijkaard does really well to win the ball there. Nicely weighted ball.
Well, he got rid because he was under pressure. Well, that's good defending. He squeezed the play and he gave him no chance to get on the turn.
Now that looks a decent ball. No messing about, just bludgeoned away. Sporting appear to be happy to let their front players stay up front all the time.
Well, it's signalling to the opposition that they're setting themselves up for the counter-attack. It's plain and simple.
Very little to report from an attacking perspective. Jim, it's a cagey old game.
Yeah, I think it's a scoreline in keeping with what we've seen up to this point. Combined attempts at goal.
Oh, he's been caught napping! And it's Nagatomo. Incoming delivery. Cleared without hesitation. Chance! Denied by an instinctive save.
Really anticipated that well, didn't he?
Paris Saint-Germain with their first corner, the first in the game for either side, actually. David Villa! Went with his head, but couldn't steer it in.
Are certainly playing with an intense focus in executing their plan here.
No, that's been intercepted. Knocks it into space. Nagatomo. Rijkaard. He's having a hit! Saliba. Doué! It's a goal! And that takes him up to double figures, the first significant goal-scoring landmark. And wow, he has given that a right old hit.
That was magnificent. The way he cut it so perfectly, I think he's even managed to surprise himself, Peter.
Number 24, Désiré Doué. Désiré Doué. Désiré Doué. Substitution in progress.
Sporting can now introduce the first of their substitutes.
Well, he's someone renowned for his pace and those darting little runs, but also...
Oh, he's been caught on it here! And the shot! Oh, it rattles the bar! And that is wildly off target.
Well, at least he was in the right position and he reacted quickly enough. The manager will like that.
And they've got rid. That has not gone well. Can he get on the end of this? Well, that pass isn't the best.
Paris Saint-Germain clearly have been instructed to kill this off. Offence is the best form of defence.
Now that's well seen too. Looking for the run. De Bruyne. Real chance! That is decidedly lacking.
Substitution for Paris Saint-Germain. Number 24.
So here comes the substitution. Doué being applauded off here, having made a sizable contribution.
I think he's put in a good shift and their fans appreciate that. I think he could feel pretty happy with the contribution he's made.
Well, a glitch with the rangefinder there, and evident annoyance.
Ah, he made it look a bit predictable.
I think that's offside. Yes, it is.
Substitution for Paris Saint-Germain. Number 14.
Paris Saint-Germain making consecutive changes here.
Coming on the field, number 11. Yamal.
Played out to the right.
Number 27.
Defending of the desperate variety. So that's it. It is all over. Paris Saint-Germain have held on. They have doggedly, sometimes frantically, preserved the tightest of leads.
And now,
Well, after all of that, Jim, what are you thinking?
Yeah.